guys. Dr.Pitanger here. Hello guys, Dr. Pedro Sanchez here, and today I'm back to talk about the unit who is and has always been my favorite, Gladiia. Gladiia is the only 6-star Hookmaster specialist in the game, and also one of the few 6-star units you can get for free and easily one of the most playable ones, making her one of the best units a new player can acquire at any time by clearing the 5th stage of Undertides. At first glance, it's hard to gauge why Gladiia is so good. Indeed, most of the important points about her are hidden, so I will try to explain each point in this video. Before jumping to her skills, let's talk about her talents. The second talent, Survival of the Fittest, is a rather simple talent. Gladiia deals 36% more damage to enemies that have a weight inferior or equal to 3. While very straightforward, this talent actually greatly increases Gladiia's damage against small enemies, allowing her to function as a great lane holder by increasing her already decently high attack to terrifying numbers, particularly when using her Y module that skyrockets her damage even more. However, as juicy as this module may seem, and frankly is, after all, we are talking about an extremely high increase in damage, if you're playing Gladiia with anything else but her X module, you have completely lost your mind. Gladiia's X module is her main selling point. Her basic first talent, Waves of Eager, gives all Abyssal Hunters, including herself, 2.5% max HP recovery per second, as well as 25% physical and arts damage reduction against seaborne enemies. Now, her X module increases the HP recovery to 3.5% HP, which is already a massive 40% increase, and it also increases the damage reduction to 30%. But most importantly, it completely removes the against seaborne enemies part, meaning as long as she's deployed, Gladiia gives 30% damage reduction to all Abyssal Hunter operators on the field, again, including herself, against any source that doesn't deal true damage. There is not a single unit in the whole game that unconditionally offers so much damage reduction to so many units at once and globally. It's an extremely powerful tool if you, as a new player, decide to pick Spectre in one of the several recruitment tickets you get offered, or if you ever get Skadi, Spectre Alter, or even Andriana. Alright, let's stop beating around the bush. Ulpianis. Yes, Gladiia is Ulpianis' best support. It gives him some precious damage reduction that offset his literal 0 defense stat and also gives him even more healing, this time unconditionally. Now, in regular Arknights this is great, but in IS that means you need to spend twice as much hope to get turbo buffed Ulpianis. Is it good? Not really. But anyway, I haven't even talked about her skills yet. Gladiia's first skill, Waterless Parting of the Great Ocean, is a 4 seconds cooldown single target 1 instance of damage that will pull the targets and can have up to 3 charges. It's interesting to note that because skills keep on charging up when they are getting used, it's not rare for Gladiia to be able to use this skill 4 times in a row, allowing her to quickly delete enemies in holes, because yes, this is usually the skill you'll want to use to pull enemies if they come at regular interval without discontinuing, so in very few stages total. There is frankly not much to say about this skill except that it does pretty good damage for an S1 on single target, that it works with spinach-like items pretty well, but is overall easily overshadowed by her S2. Her S2, Waterless Grasp of the Raging Seas, coolest name by the way, is Gladiia's bread and butter. Gladiia will now target 2 enemies, dragging them towards her with an increased horizontal range. This skill lasts 20 seconds and has a 25 SP cost, and is usually the skill you want to go for when using Gladiia, as this is the most suited to act as a lane holder, being able to cover a large range and hit multiple targets at once. It's worth mentioning that since Gladiia can be deployed both on ground and range tiles, if she is deployed on range ties, this skill can be an extremely potent stalling tool to put enemies away from your melee units without putting her in danger. Now, to finish with their skills, Her S3, Waterless Dance of the Shattered Maelstrom, is an 8 seconds bind that also draws every unit hit around the main target in the AoE of the skill, dealing arts damage to any unit caught in it every 1.5 seconds 6 times before pulling all enemies caught towards her. The pretty high 35 SP cost of this skill, the fact that the duration is very low, and the overall relatively poor damage of the skill makes it a niche application as a binding tool or an arts damage source. However, when it comes to dealing arts damage, and that's another reason why her X module is also so good, when her module is equipped, shifted enemies will take 800 damage per tiles moved when getting shifted by Gladia's skill, which actually makes her S2 pretty strong against Ling event enemies in IS6. And regarding this topic, is Gladiia good in IS? Heh. No. Sorry, I think it comes as no surprise, but Gladiia, being a specialist, puts her in competition with some pretty good units like, I don't know, Texas Alter, Yato Alter, Ella, Ascalon, Exusia Alter, Wong, Rich's Cat, and the future Angelina Alter, so yeah, you get the idea. But I do believe Gladiia isn't that bad, particularly in some specific IS. IS6 is clearly not well fitted for Gladiia. There's a much better free-to-play unit you can recruit in it, and there's just not enough holes or any enticement to use her. IS5 is kind of the same, it's somehow even worse as Gladiia doesn't benefit from any hand and there are infinitely better handless units like Monster. This leaves us with IS2, 3 and 4, which are actually much more fitted for Gladiia. IS2 has quite a lot of middle to late game maps with holes, IS3 has a lot of sea terrors which allows Gladiia to be pretty tanky even at E1, but most importantly, IS4 is definitely Gladia's best IS, particularly since IS4 starts are extremely rough, and more so for new players. However, almost every early IS4 maps have holes, allowing Gladiia to save your ass during these early stages. Are there other units that can do this job but better? Obviously. However, will new players have some or even any of them? Maybe not. After all, most powerful specialist ops that I mentioned are unfortunately limited, and that's actually where Gladia's strength comes from. Where new players would always have to wait for a limited banner in order to spark these units, Gladiia can serve as a good temporary replacement if they absolutely want to tackle IS4, and she will perform decently well. Alright, even though this could have been a good conclusion, obviously I need to list some tips with Gladiia. First, pullers have these weird interactions with unmovable objects when they use a pulling skill, during which they will get stuck in the animation trying to pull said object. This can be particularly hindering when trying to attack enemies with S2 and there's a chest in her range. Next, be extremely careful about her S3. Even though pulling all enemies towards her may seem like a good idea, there are some stages where it can quickly overwhelm her. After all, remember that she only has 2 blocks. And that's unfortunately everything I have to say about Gladiia. She doesn't have any particularly strong tech strat like Weedy in IS3 for example. She's just a good unit that can help new players with old IS or help your old pianists reaching stupid numbers, but that's about it. She's pretty much a jack of all trades, master of none kind of unit, being able to deal mixed damage, block 2, self-heal, attack air, hit both in single target and in AoE, and increase her range. It's a perfectly fine unit to start with, and therefore the perfect topic to start making videos again. Hence, if you like this video, feel free to leave a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.